Epilepsy Tasmania, Emma speaking.
Registered paediatric nurse, so I've got over 20 years experience looking after kids in my nursing career. I've been with Epilepsy Tasmania for the last 18 months. I'm an education and training coordinator for the north of the state. So we offer a range of training depending on what people's experiences are with epilepsy. The most common training is a basic understanding and management of epilepsy and seizures, which explains what epilepsy is, what seizures are, some seizure first aid, and also how to care for individuals with epilepsy and how they're impacted and how their life's impacted when they're not having seizures, because that's really quite significant for people living with epilepsy. We also provide specific training for people looking after people with epilepsy around their specific individual epilepsy management plan, so how they specifically want to be looked after. And then as the nurse for Epilepsy Tasmania, my role is also to provide training around emergency medications and administering emergency medications when people are having seizures to help stop that seizure or reduce the length of the time that seizure goes for. So that's training people that are unfamiliar with giving medications to people and to make them feel confident in giving that medication safely. Our training is for some understanding for people living with epilepsy, what epilepsy and seizures mean for them, for the family and carers of them people, but also for the greater community supporting them people living with epilepsy. So workplaces and schools, care organisations, anyone really that is impacted by someone that has epilepsy or is experiencing seizures. We do a lot of education with people with epilepsy, because a lot of the times they get an epilepsy diagnosis and they don't actually understand much about that, or they might have had that diagnosis for a really long time, and sometimes the terminology and knowledge and things around epilepsy has changed significantly since the information that they were first provided with. They might have been diagnosed as a child and so didn't actually get any education or information, just had their diagnosis, and now that they're an adult they want to know a little bit more and understand what epilepsy means a little bit more. So it is with the individual, but it's a lot more with the support workers and the carers and the people that are involved with those people. We are really flexible with our training options, so we can provide face-to-face training. We like to get out as much as we can. You get a lot more out of that face-to-face training where you can sit with people and have that conversation, and it sort of generates a little bit of open discussion. So we do encourage face-to-face training where we can. We're doing a lot of training via Zoom or any sort of video link. We can also offer online training for people that have need to do it in their own time. So yeah, we can be really flexible with our training options. Well, again, we've got really flexible accessibility, so people can walk in our door, they can ring us up, they can email us, they can jump on the website, they can jump on our Facebook page, and all of them places will come to us and we will respond within hopefully 24, 48 hours. Absolutely. So it's a really fantastic job because you get to such diversity in what you do. We cover a really broad spectrum of people from all walks of life. So it's never boring. Every day is different. You get to get out and about. You get to go into school environments and workplaces and places that you probably wouldn't access otherwise. And you get to make a significant impact in people's lives and make a real positive change and just support them to live a better life. So I remember one of my first clients was a 17-year-old girl that was really struggling with a recent diagnosis, and it had just completely changed her life. So she'd gone from, starting uni, getting a licence, becoming independent, to having an epilepsy diagnosis and losing her licence, not being able to go to uni at that stage because her seizures were too complicated, and also their social impacts. So she was struggling with the friendship groups and going out and drinking and partying, as goes along with being that age and not being able to do any of that. And then also her wanting to get a bit of independence, and so her mum became really wrap her into cotton wool, and she was feeling that she didn't have any independence and she'd lost everything. And so I met with her and her mum to start with, and then she actually started engaging with me outside of visits with her mum, and we talked about some of the issues that she was having that she didn't want to discuss with her mum around alcohol and party drugs and things like that. And so I actually supported her and started going to the neurology appointments with her, so that she could ask the doctor them questions that she couldn't ask when mum was in them appointments. And then I was also able to support mum in knowing that, someone was with her child, and she was very grateful from that side of things, knowing that while her child was pushing her away at that time, there was someone there that was supporting her. So that she wasn't alone at that time. And she's back, she's well controlled on medication now, she's back at uni, she's driving, she's working again, and she's really sort of thrived even after a diagnosis at that age.